Hello everyone, Cheryl here from Love and Light Yoga, and welcome to your pre-bedtime yoga release. So we're just going to take a few moments before bedtime just to really relax out the muscles and start to calm things down in preparation for sleep. So you won't need anything for this, just yourself. You can do this on a mat, in bed, on the floor, wherever you are, it's fine. You won't need anything, just yourself. So when you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so we are going to get started today in a nice comfortable seated position. So whatever feels good for you is okay. I'm going to take cross-legged. If you would rather have the legs out long, if you would rather have the knees bent up, that's okay. Just take the hands to wherever they are most comfortable, wherever they naturally want to fall. And sit with a nice tall spine here. Start to relax the shoulders down. Maybe slightly tuck the chin in towards the chest. And close down the eyes. And just take a second here before we get started with any movement, just to notice the breath. Noticing any qualities about the breath that you may pick up on here. Maybe the speed of the breath. Are we breathing quickly? Are we breathing slowly? Notice how deeply we're breathing as we inhale. Are we breathing quite shallow, maybe to the back of the throat, or are we breathing all the way down, really filling up the lungs? And finally noticing where in the body we can feel the breath. So maybe it's on the nose, maybe the throat, the chest, the belly. And there's no right or wrongs to any of these questions or any of these observations. It's just simply noticing. And we now work on lengthening out the breath here. So we might start to take deeper inhalations, longer and smoother exhalations. Just really slowing the breath down, slowing down the heart rate, slowing down the body and the mind. Getting ourselves ready to rest. Taking one more full round of breath, just in your own time. And then whenever you're ready, you can gently open back up through the eyes if they are closed. We're just going to check in with our neck a little bit here. So just start to take the chin down towards the chest. Keep the spine nice and long. Keep the shoulders relaxing down. And we just want to feel a little bit of a stretch in through the back of the neck here. The more we tuck the chin into the chest, the deeper that stretch is going to be in the back of the neck. And we may choose to stay here, or we may choose to find a few little half neck circles here. So just rolling one ear to one shoulder, bringing the chin back through center and across to the other side. And just moving really slowly here, really mindfully. Taking a little bit of time to work out any areas of tension in the neck, any little knots in the neck. Just rolling the neck one side to the other, nice and slowly. The next time that we roll the neck round towards the right hand side, we might stop here. We might send a few breaths into the left hand side of the neck here. Keep relaxing the shoulders down and away. Take one more breath and then roll the head over to the other side, over towards the left, and then we might stop And as before, we find a few deep breaths here, breathing into the right hand side of our neck, dropping the shoulders. Taking one more breath here. And then bringing the chin all the way down in towards the chest one last time. And when we're ready, we pick the gaze back up. We keep the hands wherever they are, whether they're on the knees or the thighs. And we just take a few little shoulder rolls here. So just bringing a little bit of gentle movement in through the upper body. Just rolling the shoulders around, letting go of the stresses of the day, anything that we have been holding on to, maybe carrying with us throughout today. Just shrugging it off, releasing the shoulders, releasing the neck and the upper back. Take one or two more in your own time, and then just come back to center. Whichever position the legs are in, we are going to release the legs and we're going to come into our butterfly position here. So the soles of the feet are coming together and we're just working on letting the knees relax out towards the sides here. So it's completely up to you whether you want to have the soles of the feet quite close in towards the body. If that feels too intense, you can take the feet a little bit further away, but somewhere that you can breathe deeply, somewhere that you can still be seated nice and tall. And we're just going to release the knees down towards the sides here. So we're not going to actively press the knees down, just let gravity do the work for a moment, just breathing deeply. We're going to take hold of wherever we can pretty much. So maybe for you it's the knees, maybe it's the shins, the ankles, it could be around the feet. And we're just going to find a little flutter with the knees here. So we're just a little bit of movement, just up and down, gently opening and releasing out the hips here, just like we did with our shoulders, just letting go of any tension that we may have been carrying in that area. A few little flutters up and down, and then come back to stillness. We find a little rock side to side here. Again, nothing too fancy. Don't worry too much about what this looks like, whether it looks exactly like what I'm doing. We're just rocking side to side, bringing the right knee down towards the mat and then the left. Just finding a little bit of organic movement. And then eventually coming back to center and back to stillness. We're going to keep the hands wherever they are, whether that's on the feet or the ankles or the legs. We're going to find a little forward fold here. So release the knees towards the floor, sit nice and tall through the spine, take a nice big inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to begin to lower the chest down towards the feet. If it feels good, you can press your elbows onto the insides of the legs just to gently draw the legs a little bit closer towards the mat. We're just going to breathe deeply here. Opening everything up, releasing tension. Thinking about keeping the spine long, but still creating lots of space in through the back. So notice all of that space that we're creating in through the lower back, in through the shoulders, and in through the inner thighs. The more time that we spend here, the nicer this may begin to feel and the lower we may be able to release the body. So take a nice big inhale here, and as you exhale, see if we can maybe release the body down just a little bit further. Scanning through your body here, noticing if there's any place that you're holding onto tension. If you are, just allow that tension to melt away. Take a few more deep breaths here. And then after your next full exhale, nice and slowly we release out of this forward fold. Lift the gaze, lift the chest, bring yourself all the way up to seated. We might need a little bit of help bringing the knees in, and then we're going to release the legs out long. So we're just going to bring the legs out long in front of us. We can have the knees completely straight, or we can have a bend in the knees if that feels better. And we're just going to point the toes away and then flex the toes back towards the knees. So pointing and flexing, just bringing a little bit of easy movement in through the ankles, encouraging that blood flow, that movement all the way up through the legs into the thighs. Just pointing, flex, point and flex. And then coming back to stillness. From here we're going to find a nice easy twist. So we'll do that by bringing the right knee in towards the chest. And it's up to you how close you want the knee to be in towards the chest. So you might have that right foot quite close in towards the body, or you might have it a little bit further away. Whatever works for you is good. We're going to sit up nice and tall here, keep the spine long. We're going to keep the straightened leg nice and active by pointing the toes up towards the sky. Take the right hand out behind you, behind the hip, coming on to fingertips. Inhale, we sit tall. As we exhale, we're going to twist that chest round towards the right hand side of the room. Breathing here, we can use our left hand on that bent knee just to help encourage that twist, encourage us round a little bit further. If your body allows, we might even bring the left elbow onto the outside of the right knee. With every inhale, the crown of the head reaches a little bit higher. With every exhale, we twist round just a little bit further. Opening up here, feeling that twist, feeling that opening through the back. Take one more big inhale and a full exhale. And then nice and slowly, we can release everything, come round nice and slowly back to center. We're going to release the right leg out long and bring the left knee in. We're going to get ready for our easy twist on this side. So again, this foot can come as close in towards the body as you want, or it can be a little bit further away. The right leg stays active, toes pointing up towards the sky. We're going to bring the left hand onto fingertips out behind the hips. Inhale, we sit tall through the spine. As we exhale, we can use the right hand on the knee just to guide us round into our twist. So we don't want to be forcing anything here. We want to feel a nice stretch and a nice twist in through the middle of the spine. Breathing deeply. With every inhale, crown of the head reaches high. With every exhale, we might twist just a little bit further. Just take a few breaths here. Let's take one more big inhale. Take a full exhale. And then slowly untwist all the way back to center. We're going to release both legs out long now, and we're going to find a forward fold. So just like before, we can keep the legs completely straight, or we can find a little bend in through the knees if that feels good. We're going to bring fingertips either side of the legs. We're going to inhale, sit nice and tall through the spine, and then as we exhale, just start to walk the hands either side of the legs, coming down towards the feet, and think about leading down with our chest here. So we don't want to round through the upper back. We want to keep the upper back nice and straight, leading with the chest. Once we're met with a little bit of resistance in the body, we're going to stop. We're going to release everything down and over. And we're going to be here for a few breaths. So get as comfortable as you can here. Just like we did in our butterfly position, we are scanning through the body, noticing if there's anywhere that we may be holding or gripping on. That does not help us. What helps us is to let that go and let that release. Let gravity take over here. Let gravity release all of our muscles. Let gravity bring our upper body a little bit closer towards the legs, releasing the lower back. Releasing our shoulders, releasing our hamstrings. Lovely deep breaths here. And the longer that we spend here and the deeper that we breathe here, we may start to notice that the body naturally and gently drifts a little bit closer towards the legs. It might be these little micro movements, it might not even be noticeable, but we may feel this release in the body. Taking just a few more deep breaths here, nice deep inhales, full exhales, release the body. Taking one more full round of breath in your own time. And then after your exhale, very, very slowly and mindfully begin to lift the gaze. Maybe begin to lift the chest and the shoulders and walk the hands all the way back up towards the hips. Nice. From here, we are going to crisscross the legs. We're going to find a little transition coming forward onto our hands and our knees, and we're going to meet in our tabletop. And we're not going to be here for very long. We are going to have the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips, and we're just going to find a few little rolls around with the hips here. So if we almost imagine like we are drawing circles with our tailbone, that's what we want to think about. We just want to bring that movement in through the lower back, in through our hips. And then switch direction, just take a few little circles the other way. And eventually coming back to center, back to stillness. From here we'll meet in a child's pose. So the toes come together. We're going to take the knees apart. We're going to sit the bum back towards the heels. And if the bum doesn't meet the heels, we can have a little blanket or a pillow or something in between. We're going to walk the arms out nice and long and then rest the forehead down. The forehead can be on the mat here, or on your bed, or on the floor. Breathing deeply, thinking about melting the chest down towards the mat. Breathing into the lower back. And if this is feeling good for you, you may stay here. Or maybe you begin to walk the hands off towards the right hand side. We try to keep the hips where they are. Take the hands off towards the right and keep the chest melting down towards the floor. So we're getting this extra little stretch in through the left hand side of the body. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then maybe taking the hands back through center, this time walking them off towards the left hand side. Again, keeping the hips where they are, releasing the chest, releasing the forehead. Feeling that little extra stretch in through the right hand side of the body, coming up through the waist, through the rib cage, through the armpits. Maybe bringing ourselves back to center, back into our child's pose. Taking a few more deep breaths here. Slowing and deepening your breath. Finding those deep inhales and long exhales. If you wish to stay here and take another few breaths, you might pause the video here. Or if you wish to release out of your child's pose, you might begin to lift the head, walk the hands back towards the knees, and then bring yourself into whatever position feels right for you. So whether that's lying down to come straight into your sleepy position, or whether, like me, you're coming into cross-legged, whatever is good for you is fine. And I am just going to take one big final stretch, reach up towards the sky, and then exhale, hands to my heart space. And to you, I'm going to say Namaste. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are feeling sleepy, and I hope you have a great night's sleep. If you like this video, please like. If you would like to see more like this, please subscribe, and once again, Namaste.